Well, hello, everyone. My name is Swamp, and it is Tomfoolery Tuesday. And actually, before we jump right into Tomfoolery Tuesday, I have some good news. I don't know if you remember, I mentioned it on Friday that Based Grandpa was no longer on TikTok, which has happened to him several times. But he is back. The man himself has returned. This is his TikTok. So I'm sure he's got some good things to say. I'm just going to pick a random one since we haven't been able to hear from him in a while. All right, Harry, let's see what we got.
Well, I'm going to introduce you to the newest member of the ranch, Little Holly. But first, I'm going to kick the camera around and show you what a string of horses is supposed to look like after a summer of ankle-deep grass and proper care. So here's a string of rescue horses.
Yeah, by the way, he runs a ranch where he takes care of horses that are injured or, you know, have some sorts of issues. So, I mean, the dude is definitely the most based man in Canada. He could be the most based man in the world, but I don't know.
I don't give a goddamn how famous I am or whatever. It don't matter to me because I'm about dead anyway, so what do I give a shit? What in the hell do I care? I don't. If nobody can't take me like I am, they can simply kiss my goddamn ass. I mean, I am Popcorn by God Sutton, and that's it.
Popcorn Sutton?
Anybody don't like the way I do, what I do, fuck them, is what I say about it.
Epic.
Does the world need a men's movement out there? Oh, you're fucking right it does, and it needs to start now. Men need to start learning to govern themselves. They need to start living their lives according to a set of guidelines. Creed, the gentleman's creed, honesty, a strict fucking adherence to the facts, no matter what the situation. Always telling yourself and those around you nothing but the truth. Integrity. Living your life knowing full well that your every move is being watched by God through your eyes. Never allow yourself to become divided or fractured. Always staying strong. Standing as fucking steadfast as you can for your moral beliefs no matter what the cost. Devotion. Always keeping your fucking eyes on that which you need to achieve. Staying the course. Staying focused on that goal. Pushing yourself to the limit in order to achieve that goal. Devotion. And fortitude. The ability to keep your fucking wits about you and face pain and face adversity and face danger with unwavering courage, never allowing yourself to take even a fucking half a step back. And that way, when you face up like that, and you start to live life according to those four things, well, pretty soon your self-esteem, and your self-respect, your sense of self-worth, they're all going to return. And all of a sudden, you're going to be able to look yourself in the mirror, and you're going to be able to look yourself in the eyes. And you're going to ask yourself, am I becoming the man that I want to be? Am I achieving that which I want to? Am I becoming a better man? And you're going to be able to look yourself in the eyes with pride and say yes. And I'm never going to waver from the course because I am now a sworn member of the Gentleman's Creed. I love each and every one of you. And it's not going to be an easy course. It's going to be a fucking hard one. And you're going to have to work at it. And that's where we, the other members of the Gentleman's Creed, we're there for you. So that you can reach out, draw from our strengths, learn from our weaknesses and our failures, and with hopes that that can help you become a better man, and perhaps we can learn from you as well. The Gentleman's Creed. I love each and every one of you.
That's the man himself. That is one based grandpa.
Does the world need a men's...
Oh, it's playing again. Here we go. All right. I just thought I'd share that good news with you guys before we jump into the tomfoolery. Don't forget, still raising money for the revolver. It's so close. We can get there. We can get there. I know we can. And of course, if you haven't yet, pick up your 2-pack of Swamp collectible stickers, the Didn't Do Nothing Boys. Trump and I didn't do nothing. I'm still surprised that they haven't taken it down yet. But, you know, maybe I'm just not important enough for them to care. Which is fine. First up, this was something I just came across like 2 seconds before starting this stream, so I haven't even watched it yet, but I already know there's going to be a ridiculous amount of tomfoolery afoot. Because, well, I mean, it's from MSNBC, first of all. And second of all, it says, Artemis Langford, excuse me. Artemis Langford, a trans woman whose sorority admission was contested by fellow members, speaks out after a judge dismissed the lawsuit. Quote, even if there's one person out there who feels that their identity is being attacked, it's okay to be who you are. Now, there was already a lot of tomfoolery just in that introduction to this. So I can only imagine what... and, of course, that face. I can only imagine what's about to happen. Something tells me this is going to be out of control.
Lawsuit was brought on by, I believe, 6 members of your sorority. Do you have support from other women in the house?
I am very glad to have such great and supportive sisters in my chapter. I think as a sorority, Kappa, to me, demonstrates so much about very wonderful values, from loyalty to courage to trailblazing, such very smart people that I'm so glad to have on my side in the chapter. I think it's just a very difficult experience because no one was expecting to be there and to be in that kind of situation. And now it's been a great relief that perhaps it can finally be over.
It takes a very brave and unique person.
I tried to hold that laugh in as much as I could, or for as long as I could. You know, if we had a serious society, if we lived in a real country, this article or this story would be celebrating the girls, the actual, you know, women who are in the sorority winning, not having to, not being forced to allow this. Well, actually, he looks like he could be related to Gorlock the Destroyer. Not having to let Gorlock the Destroyer's cousin into their sorority. That's what this story would be if we were an actual real country. We'd say, yay! They dismissed the case that this ogre was trying... Because that's what's happened, right? Is this Gorlock the Destroyer's cousin was trying to sue the sorority for not letting him in, and the judge was like, yeah, that's not happening, bro. You're gonna have to kick rocks, my dude. And if we lived in a real country, this tomfoolery wouldn't be happening. It would be a report where they were interviewing the women in the sorority, asking them what the experience was like having this guy try to enter their sorority. If we lived in a serious country.
A great relief that perhaps it can finally be over.
It takes a very brave and unique person to do this, to be a first in a situation like this. and then to continue on.
So brave.
What makes you want to stay with everything that you've been through?
Oh, God.
I think I want people to know that.
Dude, there is no way on earth, no freaking way, that a woman that looks like this is honestly sitting here talking to this and saying, wow, you were such a beautiful and brave woman. This is what, how do you keep going? You know, I mean, you're so brave. Get out of here. That is no freaking way, dude. I am not buying it. But I guess I'm wrong. This is very beautiful and brave, actually. I apologize. Don't take me down, YouTube. Don't take me down.
To be a first in a situation like this, and then to continue on. What makes you want to stay with everything that you've been through?
I think I want people to know that everything that they've experienced, that I'm certainly not the first trans person to ever be attacked by elements in the media to be used. And unfortunately, I don't think.
Imagine the freaking balls on this guy to be on a mainstream news outlet claiming attacks from the media. What? Where are there attacks from the media? You're on MSNBC, my dude. How? Attacks from the media. Get out of here. And actually, did I get it wrong? Was it the women suing him, or was he suing the women for not being allowed in? A student of the University of Wyoming and member of the Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority chapter joins. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm not getting any info from this. Oh, here's the whole report. Wow, this is great.
Artemis Langford scored a major legal victory when a judge
Oh, Artemis won. Damn it. For a split second, I thought that something good had happened. Boy, was I wrong. That is a bummer. Let's get the recap.
I want to share a story about Artemis Langford, who is a student at the University of Wyoming and made history last fall as the first openly transgender woman.
I'm sorry, but why? Why? The face, why? Why? I don't know how to articulate this further without getting in trouble. Just why? Ugh.
To join a sorority. Being the first can be incredibly hard, and this case is no exception. But this week brought some variance. Artemis Langford scored a major legal victory when a judge dismissed a suit brought by 6 fellow members of her Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority who sued to kick her out of the chapter.
Damn it. I had too much faith in humanity. I was assuming that it was the trans person suing the sorority to try to be let in. Whenever I think I can't lose any more faith in humanity, something like this happens. I lose a bit of faith that I didn't even know that I had. God. Oh, absolutely degenerate.
Over her trans identity. The case has drawn widespread attention as schools continue to be a front line in these fights for LGBTQ plus rights. And Artemis Langford, the very brave woman at the center of it all.
The very brave woman.
Artemis, thanks for joining us on this. Appreciate.
Okay, so this was the part we were already listening, so I think we could skip into this.
What is that like for you?
It's been a very difficult year, to say the least. The sheer awe and surrealness of being in a media cycle again and again, even though I didn't necessarily want to be
Bullshit.
given all this attention
Bullshit.
just because of
Bullshit. 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 I didn't want to be given all this attention. That's why me, as an ugly fat bastard, decided to dress up as a woman. Just so I could live my life in private and not have to talk to anybody ever about it. The tomfoolery. The tomfoolery.
of my identity. And then just the sheer terror of being in a lawsuit and not knowing what happens next, especially with threats online and harassment, both physically and then online, has been very hard on myself. And
in case you're wondering, he's talking about me and people like me. The harassment and the threats online. Did you know there was a cartoon man sitting at a desk who said I was a fat bastard?
those that are in my chapter and campus in general has been very affected because of that.
Do people
it's very difficult.
Do people harass you on campus?
Do that.
Do they say things to you on campus?
There have been some confrontations and interactions. Some are
okay, but to be fair, just to let's be fair here. If this is you were going to get some kind of negative feedback, let's say, on campus just by looking the way you do. Not because you're transgender. If you weren't transgender, if you still believed you were a dude and this was the state of you, you were bound to come across some sort of bullying at some point in your life from somewhere. So I'm not sure that you can put all of this on being transgender. It didn't help. It 100% did not help to go the whole transgender route. Didn't do you any favors. I'm just saying that it was bound to happen. Okay? We got to have a little dose of reality here. Okay?
more pleasant than one would think. Like, one person came up to me saying that, oh, they were going to pray for me. I don't know in what context they wanted to convey that, but I thought it was like, oh, thank you for praying for me. Others have been just very hostile with
that's me.
Passive aggression.
It's me. This beautiful and brave woman is talking about me.
Into you, like someone like purposely tries to hit into you.
Oh man.
Oh
Those
man.
kind of competitions. I'm grateful nothing has gone beyond that, fortunately.
I know this lawsuit was brought on by, I believe, 6 members of.
Man. Did you hear that? I mean, did you guys really listen? Did you shut up and listen? Someone bumped into him. You heard me correct. Somebody bumped into him on campus once. I mean, he left out the part that, you know, right after the person was like, oh, hey, sorry about that, and then walked away. But someone did bump into him on campus. Man, can you imagine being transgender and having to deal with this kind of stuff? I'm a cis straight white man, so no one's ever bumped into me, ever. White privilege. And actually, is this dude white? Or is he some kind of Asian? I can't tell. With the round face that also kind of makes the eyes a little Asian-y. Is this... Maybe he's half Asian. I don't know.
Of your sorority. Do you have support from other women in the house?
I am very glad to have such great and supportive sisters in my chapter. I think as a sorority, Kappa to me demonstrates so much about very wonderful values, from loyalty to courage to trailblazing, such very smart people that I'm so glad to have on my side in the chapter. I think it's just a very difficult experience because no one was expecting to be there and to be in that kind of situation. And now it's been a great relief that perhaps it can finally be over.
It takes a very brave and unique person to do this, to be a first in a situation like this, and then to continue on.
Oh my God, it's just sickening. It is, it's stomach churning to hear this kind of, the absolute praise and adoration to the point of being a sycophant. I mean, damn, lady. A little self-respect would do you wonders. I mean, I gotta believe that no matter where I was working, if my higher-ups came to me and said, here's the piece, we want you to do this, and then you see that this is what you're going to have to say, that you'd say, well, you realize this makes me sound like a jackass, right? I'm not going to do this. This is insane. I'll do the piece, but you got to rewrite it. I mean, that's how you want me to frame this? God. And as this person, has said, oh, the attacks from the media. And then we're sitting here with the media, and this is the shit that we hear. I mean, it's honestly, it's sickening. I mean, imagine debasing yourself to this level.
To be there and to be in that kind of situation. And now it's been a great relief that perhaps it can finally be over.
It takes a very brave and unique person
good. Yeah.
To do this, to be a first in a situation like this, and then to continue on. What makes you want to stay?
Oh my God. I mean, not to beat a dead horse here, but damn. You know what was actually was brave and took a particular kind of person to continue on? Yeah, were the people storming the beaches of Normandy. That was brave and required a certain kind of person to carry on and go forward. Oh, man. It's brutal. We're almost done. The tomfoolery. It's almost too much to bear.
With everything that you've been through.
Everything I've been through. I had to sue a sorority.
I want people to know that everything that they've experienced, that I'm certainly not the first trans person to ever be attacked by elements in the media.
Where is this? They never actually explained that, did they? Where these attacks are coming from? Because this woman right now is doing everything except for pleasuring this dude sexually on camera. I mean, she's just one step short of that on camera. Well, the attacks from the media. It's just brutal, man. Oh, it's brutal.
To be used, and unfortunately, I don't think I'll be the last, but I want people to know that it's never okay for that kind of scrutiny on a person just because of their identity, just because I'm trans. And I hope that, even if there's one person out there that feels that their identity is being attacked, that it's okay to be who they are. And it's never okay to be attacked on their identity, whether it's because of their race, their gender identity, their sexual orientation, religion, or creed. That
I'm going to have to disagree with you there, Bob. Gonna have to disagree with you there. I'm tired of this crap. It turns out, and stay with me here, if you walk in a room and this is you, honestly, I don't need to know anything else. There is nothing that you could do to fix what you have done here. Nothing. So, you know what? Yes. Some things you can just judge people on. I'm sorry. That's reality. It's never right to judge people based off of blah. No, that is 100% incorrect. You are definitely wrong on that. And ironically, as you say this, you are the living proof that you are incorrect about this.
Every day that they can be themselves is a good day for us all.
Yeah.
Okay to be exactly who you are.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
This woman. Oh. It's like we're watching a struggle session or something. It's like a public shaming ritual. This woman did something, and now she's here, and the state has mandated that she must go through this struggle session in front of all 46 viewers of MSNBC. I didn't actually intend for this to be even a contender in the Tomfoolery Tuesday vote, but I think it has to be. I mean, that was a lot of tomfoolery in the span of 5 minutes and 29 seconds. Almost off the charts tomfoolery. So that's going to be our first contestant. And I didn't mean that to be a contestant, because I actually had some other things. My plan was to play these 3 videos very quickly at the beginning as a way to just kind of get into Tomfoolery Tuesday, but they weren't going to be in the running. But I guess we're off to the races. We are off to the races on Tomfoolery Tuesday. I was going to kind of do just like a quick 3 videos back to back, housekeeping, show some things that I'd found that are obviously full of tomfoolery, but aren't necessarily part of the vote. But I think that's contestant number 1. What was his name again? Artemis Langford. God, of course this dude chose the name Artemis. The trans people, they always pick names like that. Artemis. It's brutal. Well, now this makes it kind of awkward to transition to these other 2 videos that I wanted to start with, since that one is obviously in the running. But we'll do it anyway, because I don't think they fit anywhere else except for on Tomfoolery Tuesday. I just wanted to play this because, again, it is certainly tomfoolery. And it seems like I'm going to be talking about COVID a lot and continually reminding people what happened, because for some reason people just get amnesia when something happened more than 6 months ago. To quote Fleckus on this, who's going to hang for this? Someone needs to hang for what happened. More than one person. So who's it going to be? We got to stop. Let's just move on. That was a while ago. No.
Individuals are allowed to make their own choices. There may be all sorts of different reasons why someone is hesitant to get vaccinated. And therefore, while not forcing anyone to get vaccinated, enforcement.
So there you go. That's the jumping off point for this, is this new narrative that no one was forcing you to get vaccinated. Oh, contraire, mon frere. I seem to remember that it was forced. Possibly. Maybe I'm crazy, but I seem to remember that this was forced on all of us.
Measures in place will make sure that everyone is vaccinated.
People to have their jobs, to keep their jobs, were forced to have the vaccination. Now, do you retract your statement that they were not forced?
Senator, no, I believe firmly that nobody was forced to have a vaccine.
There's people that don't want this mandatory vaccine. How do we manage this?
Well, then they won't be going to work.
Ah, yes. The famous, we're not forcing you to do it. We're just going to ruin your life, steal everything from you, and possibly put you in a camp if you don't do it. That's not force. You can choose to have your life ruined and spend the rest of your life in prison if you want. Oh, well. Well, damn. You're right. We weren't forced to do it.
It's very, very simple.
I believe everybody was offered an opportunity to get a vaccine or not get a vaccine.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
totally.
believe that anybody was forced to take a vaccine.
Oh, no way.
We have said no, you must get vaccinated.
In terms of the vaccine mandates, I acknowledge that it was a challenging time for people, but they ultimately made their own choices.
The vaccine mandate is being expanded to around 40% of all workers.
You basically set the two different classes of people. If you're vaccinated or if you're unvaccinated, you have all these rights. If you are vaccinated...
That is what it is, so, yep.
Hospitality, hairdressers and gyms can operate at all levels if they ask customers for a vaccine certificate.
There was no compulsory vaccination. People made their own choices.
And so it follows that if customers must be vaccinated, then so too must the workers.
Oh, yeah, it follows. It's just logical. I mean, it's downright, dare I say, reasonable. The tomfoolery. These people, absolutely soulless, demon-possessed ghouls, every single one of them. And again, to quote Fleckus from his most recent episode, who's gonna hang for this, you guys? Somebody needs to hang for this. What are we doing? Gotta stop pussyfooting around with this. This is worldwide human rights violation, crimes against humanity. But no one forced you. No one forced you, you guys. Actually, you should donate to my revolver fund so that I could go to these people and say, listen, I'm not forcing you to do anything. You get to choose. Do what I tell you to do, or you can choose to get shot. It's your choice. I mean, I'm not forcing you to do anything. All right, it's totally your decision. No pressure. Take as long as you need. But I will need an answer by the end of the day. So. No, but it's not. We're not forcing you. Clown world. The other clip that I just wanted to play too, also right up there in some tomfoolery. This is hilarious. A clip that needs no introduction, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah. Pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice, you had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Let me just ask the obvious question. What was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like, what is this?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't as long.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
Unchained Tucker is just out of control, my man. This is actually just absurd. I would like to know if Tucker Carlson, like, how much legwork they did to like verify anything about this guy, or are we seeing another? Hell, what was the name of that woman who accused Donald Trump of like fondling her at a Bloomington's? Remember that crazy lady who on CNN to Anderson Cooper said that she thought rape was sexy? Well, you could see in real time Anderson Cooper going, crap, we did not vet this woman at all. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully this guy's legit. But safe to say, whether it's legit or not, certainly there is tomfoolery afoot. All right, so those were the two clips I just wanted to play to get warmed up for Tomfoolery Tuesday. But that clip of our friend Artemis really just it threw off the flow. I didn't expect that to be such a I didn't expect that to be so full of tomfoolery that it was going to make the cut for the vote. But it certainly did. But to be fair, I should have known just from seeing this dude that it was probably going to make the cut for Tomfoolery Tuesday. All right. I guess the second contestant now. The Florida Nazis and the reaction to them on TikTok. You know that if TikTok's involved, there's going to be a lot of tomfoolery just all over the place. And just side note, speaking of tomfoolery.
So
hey, shut up.
So Miss
Stop
Hill
it.
shows up
Stop
today.
it. God damn it, TikTok. God, that's everyone's least favorite person. If you recognize that voice, the Teacher Chronicles. God, she's terrible. Just a random side note. I guess this is tomfoolery related, but if you try to search the word Nazi on TikTok, this is what you get. So you can't... TikTok doesn't allow the word Nazi. And instead, no matter what you click on, it's this get the facts. We encourage you to verify the facts and trust credible sources when seeking information about the Holocaust and its legacy. Then you click on it. AboutHolocaust.org, World Jewish Congress. Well, who says I was even looking up anything about the Holocaust? Maybe I was trying to look up about these Nazis in Florida. But apparently the word Nazi just is not allowed on TikTok. So if you want to search for Nazis, and I'm surprised they haven't banned this either. You have to type in NatZ. I've learned that's the code that people use to be able to post videos talking about Nazi-related things. It's very strange. Anyway, Florida Nazis, Florida freeway Nazis, I guess is what they're calling them. So let's see. We got some tomfoolery going on here. And as I said, it's TikTok, so you definitely know there's some tomfoolery going on.
They are trying to start a war.
I'm not exactly sure what that means. They're trying to start a war. I've seen this clip before. Not whatever this weird screen recording is. I don't know what the hell. Why do people post crap like screen? I don't know. But the end of it is freaking hilarious. It's not supposed to be hilarious, but it is hilarious.
What? Who's a faggot?
Oh, I went too far. Watch this.
Who's a faggot? You? Because you have tie-dye on?
What?
Who's a
So for some reason they're just chanting faggot over and over again. I don't know why, but the people filming, and this is some kind of some Freudian thing. So the Nazis just start chanting fag, and the people filming assume that they're talking about them. And then someone just yells something about or what? And they go, "Wait, me? Who's a fag?" And then one of the guys just here. Listen.
You? Because you have tie-dye on? What? Who's a faggot? Nice look, homo!
I can't tell exactly what he says. Something like nice something homo, like nice look homo. Oh come on, that's just funny.
Tie-dye on? What? Who's a faggot? Nice look, homo! Who's a homo? Oh, look, the hippies have showed up.
Dude, this is like out of this is a skit. Gee. Wait, who's a faggot? Nice look, homo. What? Who's a homo? Hey, look, the hippies showed up. This is like if SNL was actually good, this would be on SNL. Oh, look, the hippies showed up.
Who's a homo? Oh, look, the hippies have showed up. I'd rather be a hippie than an asshole.
Oh, wow, you got him there, sweetheart. Oh, why do people post these filming their screen? I don't get it.
I am literally shitting, crying, and throwing up at the disgusting act of hate that was put on full display on the streets of Florida yesterday. And I, along with every single American, should speak up and demand.
Okay, this guy's obviously trolling. Let's find someone who has a genuine.
It's like some goddamn World War II movie.
Yeah, I genuinely don't understand the. Oh, jeez, wait to the. Trying to get through the comments here. There's someone saying scary. I don't really get it. What's scary about these guys? The only way that you would think this is scary is if you're building up some kind of weird something in your head, because dude, these guys are jackasses. This isn't scary. It's like they've built this Hollywood thing up in their head about Nazis and the way you're supposed to be afraid of them. Dude, I'm not afraid of these guys. This isn't even what the Nazis were like when they were building up the party. I mean, like in Germany. Those guys you should be afraid of. That time has come and gone. Who's not watching people walking around with swastikas? Like, people act like as if this is like, whoa, look, it's rising up. It's happening. No, it's not, you freaking moron. Oh, yeah, we are definitely at risk of the Nazi party being reborn in the United States and winning an election. Are you retarded? Oh, no, the Nazis. Are you out of your freaking mind? You actually think a National Socialist Party is going to legitimately like put someone in the White House? What a jackass you must be. Stop watching MSNBC. Please, just stop watching MSNBC. And look at these freaking jackasses, man. And DeSantis will say nothing. If it was an LGBTQ plus protest over trans rights in Florida, people would have been arrested. What freaking world do these people live in? And I've seen this all over the internet recently. Of course, Ron DeSantis won't denounce this. Of course he won't, because he supports them. Again, you are a freaking jackass if you don't know that Ron DeSantis has denounced racism and white supremacy like 60 freaking times. It's the same thing they did to Trump. Well, he just needs to denounce white supremacy just once. Is it so hard? Just do it one time. I've sat at bars years ago where people would say that kind of crap to me, and I'd go here, and I'd pull out my phone, and I would show them 12 different clips of Trump denouncing white supremacy, because they said he only needed to do it once. Is that so? He just needs to do it once. And then I would show them. Yes, I did have this stuff saved on my phone because it came up so often back then. And I would show it to them, and then they would say, well, that doesn't matter. And I'm like, well, then why the hell did you say it? You said that's all he had to do. Well, he's done it at least a dozen times. Well, no. Oh, well, compelling argument, my friend. Thank you for that. Oh.
Fucking self. So what does that mean? Does that mean violence? No, it doesn't mean violence. What we're doing now, isn't it? All of our goals can be achieved non-violently.
Give nigger AIDS in your cut hole.
I'm not going to repeat that one, but says a lot about the fans of DeSantis. DeSantis must be so proud of himself. Welcome to DeSantis's Florida. In front of Disney World, too, is insane. DeSantis is silent. Walt Disney would be proud. I guess that's for real. Is that what that is? Tried warning people in Florida about DeSantis. These are the people DeSantis is influencing? Yikes. I wonder what that says about him. Man, we really do have a crisis in the United States of just low IQ people. Damn. Maybe Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, was right. We should be aborting more people. Maybe her eugenics campaign was correct. These people are so stupid, man. And you know what's funny is I've been having conversations on Twitter with people about this. They're DeSantis supporters. They were flying a DeSantis flag, and then when you show, first of all, this is a different group. This isn't the same group as the Blood Tribe. This is some other. I can't remember who these guys are. But it's a different group, and they obviously look pretty freaking stupid. And this guy, man, with this shirt, the weird swastika shirt, that guy has been around wearing that shirt for like 5 years. Which is kind of suspicious to me that he's always out there wearing that same damn shirt. But anyway, they use this, like, look, they're holding a DeSantis flag or whatever. Look, it proves DeSantis is influencing the DeSantis supporters. But then when you show them the leader of the Blood Tribe saying that, oh, Joe Biden's way better than Donald Trump. I like him for sending weapons to Ukrainian Nazis. They say, nah, that doesn't mean he supports them. Well, which is it? I mean, come on. You're saying that this is absolute proof that they support DeSantis is because there's a DeSantis flag, apparently. I think they ended up saying there was like 2 DeSantis flags with these guys. Oh, it's on the ground right there. But that's absolute proof that these are DeSantis guys, 100%. And then when the leader of the Blood Tribe actually says he supports Joe Biden, they then say, nuh-uh, he was lying. He's just trying to make Biden look bad. Nuh-uh. Okay. Makes sense. Brilliant. This is also infuriating for a different reason. a different kind of tomfoolery, if you will. With this particular, how would you call it, a rally, a march, the Blood Tribe and the other Goyim Defense League or whatever the other group was. Everyone's been posting these things before they show the clips. I do not support or condone the actions in this video. Disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. Oh, fuck off. This is pathetic. That you have to put something like this before you post a video of somebody else that you took at a rally. God. Maybe it's just me, but this really, really annoys the hell out of me.
There is Nazis in 2023 and they resign in Altamont Springs, Florida. Come get them now. This is the most craziest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Now, I do believe that this is the craziest shit you've ever seen, because in the United States, we live the most privileged and sheltered life of any human in the history of humanity. This is not that crazy, you guys. This is not that crazy. I'm sorry to tell you this, but as long as humanity exists, there is gonna be people out there who do crazy shit. There's probably actually always gonna be a group somewhere in the world that calls themselves Nazis. Forever. I'm pretty sure Hitler has left an indelible mark on humanity. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Well, you need to get out more, brother. Go hit a night on the town in Vegas and let me know how that goes for you. You'll see some crazy shit then, too.
What are these? This is live footage. We got Nazis in Altamont Springs, Florida. Wow. This is unbelievable.
Totally unbelievable, bro.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass.
This is live footage. We got Nazis in Altamont.
Here's why neo-Nazis marching in Florida is actually a big deal, and we need to...
Actually, this is a super big deal, you guys. Actually,
take it seriously. Florida has a track record of predicting future presidents. Since 1996,
oh my God,
every presidential candidate who has succeeded in Florida has gone on to spend the next 4 years in the White House. That article was written in 2020, but we all know that Trump won Florida and did not win the presidential election.
Oh my God.
Florida does have a consistent track record of predicting the political leanings of our country. We can see this with how the anti-trans legislation has spread from Florida to other states. And we're all aware of the revisionist history.
God, they want Nazis to be real so badly. They love it. This has to be a big deal, you guys. No, you are delusional. You are absolutely delusional if you think that this group of people here, whether you think they're feds or not, is pretty irrelevant. That this is going to have some sort of measurable impact on the public at large. You are delusional to a point where you should probably be institutionalized. You have got to be kidding me. And look at her crazy eyes. She just has some crazy eyes going on.
Lessons that are being taught in Florida about slavery. If you look at the 14 components of fascism, all of them apply to what is happening in Florida. And the fact that Florida has been an accurate predictor of the fate of this country for so long should worry you. I'm not trying to be an alarmist, but we need to pay attention to what is happening.
See, this is why they love Nazis and have to have Nazis be real, because they want you to look at this map, like exactly what this beautiful and brave young lady is doing. See all those red counties? She wants you to think Nazi when you look at those red counties. If that's not the biggest BS straw man I've ever heard. They would be lost if there wasn't a handful of people running around with swastika flags. They wouldn't know what to do.
one thing that I did mention to him on the phone is where these communities, the hardest hit communities, it would be very disruptive to have the whole kind of security apparatus that goes, because there's only.
So happy birthday to me, I guess, and for the honestly, I've lost track of how many times I've uttered some version of the sentence I'm about to utter in the past year and a half or so. But there were Nazis in Florida.
F off with that crap. I've lost track how many times I've uttered the sentence that there's Nazis out marching somewhere. Bull. BS. If you've said that so many times, it's because you are a delusional person who, when there's a Trump rally or a DeSantis rally or any Republican rally, you say, oh my God, there's Nazis in these streets, and these streets ain't big enough for the two of us. I tell you what, boy, these goddamn Nazis. Shut up.
This time out in front of Disney again. And this is them planning it and announcing it. Boots on the ground activism. And their whole point for doing this, according to them.
I like how he's trying to make it sound like that's like a scary boots on the ground activism. Well, that sounds like that's how the left wing talks, which I know is redundant when you say Nazi and left wing, considering the Nazis were left wing, which is just the most successful rebrand in the history of the planet. Was post-World War II, leftists, and this is not me just speculating, this is well documented, wanted to distance themselves from Nazism and try to make it be right-wing because they knew it would damage them to the point where they wouldn't be able to get a leftist elected anywhere for the foreseeable future. Until the whole Nazi thing blew over. But sure, Nazis are right-wing, blah, 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 blah.
Was to protest gay pride. I want you to keep that in mind. Their actions yesterday were supposed to be them protesting gay pride. That was the focus. I'm about to play you a clip of them out there. And just as this car goes by, it catches a couple of pieces of audio of them speaking. One, just a person yelling, the other, a person with a bullhorn. And I put on screen exactly what they're saying. About gay pride, huh? It seems like you had trouble staying on mission. Or maybe...
What do you... Dude, that's 100... That is 100% on mission. Are you kidding? So they're out here protesting gay pride. I would assume the go back to Mexico thing was because he saw someone he thought was Mexican. But you're going to tell me, you even put subtitles on it, okay? And you're saying that this statement, which I won't read, but you can see it on... I mean, as absurd as it is, isn't it on message? They're here protesting gays. They're here protesting gay pride. It seems at least somewhat related. It's there's some cross section there. I'm not saying it's coherent or it's a solid argument, but I can see how it's kind of related. That's going to be it. I keep saying this, but that's going to be the one that gets me taken off YouTube.
Like you had trouble staying on mission. Or maybe just, because you were there, you were like, we'll just cover the full spectrum of hate. They were out there.
How much do you want to bet that this guy supports everything that like Black Lives Matter and the Antifa people do? If you want to find a group of people that has the most incoherent message on earth, go to any Black Lives Matter or Antifa rally and just start talking to people.
There with a bunch of swastika flags and SS lightning bolt flags. But they also had something else with them. They had 2 Ron DeSantis 2024 flags.
Whoa.
Once again, proudly and publicly supporting and endorsing Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis for president. Literal Nazis. Now, there's only two reasons I can think of for them to do this. One is they support him and endorse him, and they think he's their guy and that he has their backs. That would be one reason. The other reason would be they don't believe that of him, and they just want to make him look bad by supporting him. So, if you are Ron DeSantis and you don't want to appreciate that,
Or, and stay with me here, there is a third option. That they do support Ron DeSantis, and who gives a shit? Even if they genuinely do, which they don't, because, I mean, it's on video, but even if they did, so what? Who cares? Do you know how many jackasses, just terrible people, running the gambit from Nazi to child rapists to murderers who voted for Joe Biden? I mean, I don't even have any data in front of me, but just statistically speaking, in the population of the United States, if Biden actually got 81 quadrillion bazillion votes, do you know how many terrible people were among those who voted for him? I mean, just absolutely terrible garbage human beings. So, who cares? What is that? So, did you hear that 6 Nazis said that they supported DeSantis? Okay. Dude, bro, seriously, bro, literal Nazis. Am I supposed to be drawing some conclusion from this? Dude, bro, I don't know if you're listening. Literal Nazis with Nazi flags, SS bolts and everything, say they support DeSantis. So? Dude, come on, bro. You got to vote for Joe Biden now. I'm sorry, that logic doesn't track. It just doesn't. And it makes you look stupid. Which is a bummer because, I mean, you got an okay beard. I mean, it's not as cool as my beard, but sporting that Hitler Youth haircut, though. Which is strange for a guy who's this upset about Nazis.
it's pretty simple. The answer to both of those scenarios is to publicly disavow them. To come out and say, no, get the fuck out of my state, Nazis. I don't want you flying flags with my name on it. You're not.
And as I said before, DeSantis has denounced Nazis and racists and blah, blah, blah several times that I've personally seen when watching, like a live thing of him. But that doesn't matter to these people. I don't know why they say that. If he just denounces it, man, he should just, I mean, why won't he denounce it? Why do you pretend to care if he denounces it? Because if he does, you're either going to ignore it or you're going to say that he was lying.
Okay, so as many of you all know, I am in Orlando, Florida, and as you guys watch me on my channel or Revolutionary Blackout Network, I made that abundantly clear that I'm here in Orlando, Florida. But there is a issue that just happened.
I'm honestly, I don't even care where this guy's going to go with this. I'm just glad that there's a black man on TikTok who speaks coherently and clearly. Good on you, brother.
Happened here in Orlando. Well, technically not Orlando. It was more of Altamont Springs, which is a little bit further north in Orange County, right above the city of Orlando. where some neo-Nazis actually came in expressing and marching. And here, just
Jews will not replace us! 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 Don't fork fishing! There he is, the fat boy!
this is what happens when you scapegoat people. You scapegoat people into thinking that marginalized people like myself are the problem with this country, when in reality it's the corporate dictators that actually run this country. Those corporate dictators will...
Is this dude about to make the same argument that the leader of the Blood Tribe made and not even know that he's doing it? Dude. Let's see.
Use people like them and tell them the problem with this country is an insert marginalized group here. And then once they think that the problem was with the rest of us, then they want to exterminate us out of this country. When in reality, the problem isn't marginalized groups. It's actually the corporate billionaires and the corporate dictators that are actually running this country. Being marginalized is a class issue. Being black is a class issue. Being disabled is a class.
Bruh. This guy did not listen to the leader of this Nazi group. He agrees with the leader of this Nazi group and he doesn't even know it. Dude, I wonder if I can find the clip of the guy from the Blood Tribe talking about this. I liked it on Twitter, but who knows how far I'd have to scroll down to find it. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to... It would be interesting to play these things side by side. That was a few days ago, though, so I've liked about 6,000 things since then. Oh, I do need to find out where to buy this flag, that's for sure. All right, well, it seems like you're just going to have to take my word for it. I've never led you astray before. There's a video of the guy from the leader of the Blood Tribe, which is the guys with all the red shirts and stuff. And he's talking to this journalist. And he makes this exact same argument. That it's the corporate billionaire dictator capitalists that are ruling the country and they're scapegoating a minority group. I mean, he thinks it's, the Nazi thinks it's white people. This guy thinks it's black people. But it's the same argument. And they're both presumably anti-capitalist because the Blood Tribe guy specifically says that he's anti-capitalist. He says he's National Socialist, otherwise known as a Nazi. Dude, this is hilarious.
Issue. Being LGBTQ is a class issue. Being an immigrant is a class issue. Being a Muslim or a Jew is also a class issue. Why? Because a lot of times we're treated as second-class citizens, and if you are part of all these different marginalizations, you're always looked down upon.
By who?
The scapegoating is used as a tool to divide all of us who may have some differences, but in reality, we all want our material conditions to improve. But that's not what the corporate dictators want. The corporate dictators want us to fight each other, and they are using these dipshits to do it so that it makes white people think,
Dude, this guy is dumb as a box of rocks, isn't he? The tomfoolery is strong with this one. He's making the same argument that the Nazi was making and then saying the Nazis support the billionaires and that they're like their lackeys. They're being used. Dude. It's hilarious. This is why if you're going to talk about something and you should know what the hell you're talking about. I mean, so it seems like this guy just saw that one video that he played of the Nazis on the street and then made this video responding to it without listening to a word that the leader of the rally said when he was talking to journalists. Because he'd probably have something about, I don't listen to Nazis. You know, one of those stupid type of arguments that the left always... I'm not going to give him a platform. Well, if you had listened to him, you would have prevented this moment of absolute tomfoolery. Dude. Bruh. Dude, we got a black Nazi over here. Though actually I think he's a leftist, so he's a black commie, which is arguably worse.
Oh, well, my life will be better if we get rid of these marginalized people. When in reality, the only people that you really need to get rid of are the corporate dictators. Do your homework, unite with us, and don't follow those dipshits that are marching.
Why did he put marching in quotes? What does that mean? What is he implying? I don't even, what does that mean? But really, the delusional land that these people live in, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Conditions to improve. But that's not what the
This
corporate
last
dictators
part.
want. The corporate dictators want us to fight each other. And they are using these dipshits to do it. So that it makes white people think, oh, well, my life will be better if we get rid of these marginalized people.
Dude, what freaking planet do you live on? This dude seems to think that there's a legitimate possibility that white people, you know, claiming it as a monolith, you know, as most of these people, most people who talk like this do, white people, that there's a legitimate actual chance that white people as a whole are going to be brainwashed into this. I mean, who? Where? I mean, is that in media? Do we see that? I don't think so. These guys acting like these Nazis have some kind of foothold in media and corporations. Are you retarded? Oh, man. That's enough TikTok Nazi reactions for me. I can't take any more of that. So far we have in the running for the most tomfoolery, or the how do I say this? The king of tomfoolery, the winner of the most tomfoolery. So far we have Gorlock the Destroyer's cousin wanting to join a sorority, which was certainly something else. And we have the TikTok reaction to the Florida Nazis. Definitely plenty of tomfoolery to go around between this guy and this young woman. But wait, there's more. As promised in the title, we're going to go after British people. But before we move on to that, if you enjoy Tomfoolery Tuesday and all of the other content that I often put out, if you can, donate to the Revolver Fund, super chat to support the channel, check out the merch page, link in the description. Get the new Din Do Nuffin Boys sticker pack. Holographic, which means it's collectible. It means it's important. Insert another Pokemon reference and how Digimon is better than Pokemon and Pokemon sucks. Anyway, moving on. Jess Gill. I don't really know who this person is, but she's on Twitter and she interviews people on the street in the UK. And there is a lot of tomfoolery going on among British people. In case you didn't know. Let's start here. Asking liberals, should kids transition?
Do you think it's important that we teach about the LGBT community and their rights and their history in schools?
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And it's so sort of removed and erased from popular culture that, like, we need to act.
Right off the bat. Oh, man. Starting strong. Oh, yeah. The LGBTQ stuff, it's erased in our culture. We really should be teaching it. We need to bring it into the forefront. It's really being erased. I mean, have you ever heard anything in the media about the LGBTQAI, LMAO, WTF, Y and Z plus group? I know I have not. I've really never heard anything about it ever.
The way people choose to just like us actively address that in school and proper education.
What do you mean by that?
God, I keep. Okay, start over.
In schools.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And it's so sort of removed and erased from popular culture that, like, we need to actively address that in school and proper education.
What do you mean by that?
What do I mean by that? I mean,
how is it erased?
Just like our systematic mainstream narratives, the way people choose to teach.
Oh man, dude. You know you're talking to someone who's drank the Kool-Aid when she has no idea what words are going to come out of her mouth next. And you know that she doesn't, because as she's trying to figure it out, she says, the systematic mainstream narratives. That doesn't even make sense. The systematic narrative, but it's the words. It's the jargon. If you say these things, 9 times out of 10, the person you're talking to will smile and nod and go, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Teach history and talk about the world, like, erases the LGBT experience, LGBT presence throughout the world, everything. I don't know, yeah.
Do you think that we should teach LGBTQ plus history and just generally about it in school?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, completely. I think if people aren't, I'm very lucky I got it taught by, like, my mom. I'm from a very accepting family, but people who...
Oh, yeah, very lucky. Or as normal people would call it, an absolute travesty. I am sorry that was done to you.
There's not a way for them to access that sometimes, and I think school is such a great place of learning and education, so why not teach people about that? I think there's so much history behind it that's so important for not only queer people to...
You notice the subtle thing that she's saying here? I mean, what she's actually saying... Whoa, I just full screened this. Sorry, this just totally drew me off track there. Of course, this person on the right would be for teaching about weird stuff in schools. Look at the shirt. This is a vegan. It's gotta be. I'm sorry, this just totally derailed my thought process. Definitely a vegan. And this person is so full of soy. I don't know. Is this a young boy or a young girl? I have no idea. I couldn't possibly begin to guess. You can't tell. So much soy coursing through the veins. Who knows? Now, what was I talking? Oh, yeah. What she's actually saying here, if you remove her kind of like flowery language or the way of saying it nicely, which is what the left always does, what she's saying is, if there's children who live in a home where the parents don't want to teach their young children about sexual things, well, that's what the schools are for. The schools should be able to take that child from the parents and they can teach it to them. The parents be damned. That's what she just said. And the thing is, they're not even hiding that this is what they think, but they say it in a way that involves words like inclusion and acceptance and education. And generally, this has worked. The tactic has worked for them most of the time because people go, oh, yeah, well, those words sound nice.
Learn about their history and their culture, but for also straight people to understand it as well. And I think it does. It's I think so much of homophobia, especially in schools, starts from at home and people's families and what they're taught. And I think schools really have the opportunity to change that sometimes, but they just aren't. So,
do you think it's important that teachers affirm the gender of their students?
Yeah, like definitely respect and just like, I don't know, ask the pronouns, like maybe on the first day or whatever, or just like check in throughout, like.
Okay, so I do need to address the fact that if these are I don't know. I've never been to this shithole country. Maybe this is how everyone looks there. I don't know. But come on. These are the people you're choosing to ask. We know what answer we're going to get from these people. We know. We really don't need to ask.
It's just like basic respect, I think.
Do you think it's important that teachers affirm the gender of their students?
Most certainly. I think if they're not, it's just, I don't understand why no one would be. I mean, if someone's come to you and said, this is who I am, why don't you respect that? It's a breach of who they are. It's a breach of their human right and like who they are as a person. It's disrespectful to not.
I think it's just offering like decent human respect to another person, and hopefully teachers would give that to their students.
So, do you think it's important that teachers affirm the gender identity of their students?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
At what age do you think someone would be able to understand their gender identity?
I think it's complicated. I think if you want to go down the kind of neurological science road, there's that, and if you just want to go down the road of...
No, actually, no. You can't go down the neurological science road of people who identify as different genders because that's bullshit. No, in fact, no, you cannot do that. And note, this is what always happens. She says that off the cuff. I was like, well, you know, we could go down this road of science and everything, and then she goes in a different direction. That's usually as far as it goes, where they claim that there is neurological science behind it. But then if you actually go and look into it, because they won't talk to you about it, they won't give you the science, they'll just use vague generalities about how there is a difference in the brains and blah, blah, blah. But when you actually look into it, you go, oh, wait, you're full of shit. Oh, I get it now. You're a jackass. Oh, now I get it. Oh, shit. Man, I almost listened to you for 2 seconds. That was my bad. I am sorry. That's not your fault. That's on me. I should know better.
Well, how children look at life and how people grow up, that's one look at life. I think there's an age that people often, like it's a similar age where it's like, oh, I find it's normally about like when you're just getting to a teenager, I think people find out, but I don't think there should be a set time. I think people should be allowed to change their minds also about stuff. I think people should be able to learn and grow and change their minds.
Why do you think it's important for...
Absolute tomfoolery. There was not anything even approaching a coherent thought in the ramblings of a madman. Sorry, a mad woman.
parents to affirm their child's gender identity?
Because I mean, it's part of raising a kid to be who they are, and they want to be a happy, fulfilled child. Like,
and so many trans and gender non-conforming.
You see how her face right there, how confused she was that the question was even being asked? What?
Gender identity.
Let me roll back to the question.
People should be allowed to change their minds also about stuff. I think people should be able to learn and grow and change their minds.
Why do you think it's important for parents to affirm their child's gender identity?
Because I mean, it's part of raising a kid to be who they are, and they want to be a happy, fulfilled child. Like,
she's never even considered the possibility for even 1 second. It has never even been introduced to her. I mean, that's why she's making this face. That there could be another way of looking at the world. I mean, she's acting like that's like the craziest thing she's ever heard. Her face, she's just she can't even really articulate why it's important. But it really is.
And so many trans and gender non-conforming youth have like some of the highest mental health rates of mental health issues and suicide, and that's because like they don't have the care and support that they need. So it would be
Really? Is that it? Or is that actually a sign that we shouldn't be deferring to them on issues of mental health? I love this logic that gets trotted out all the time. They have really high rates of mental health issues and attempted suicide, and it's really because they're not being supported, so we should affirm what they're saying. I'm sorry. In what other context would you do this? This person is severely mentally ill. Well, son of a bitch. You know what we should do? This guy's right. He is the reincarnation of Napoleon. He is. That's how you treat mental illness. You go, son of a bitch. Napoleon, back from the grave. You're taller than I remember, my dude. What's up? Get out of here.
it'd be great if parents supported their children in every case. Yeah.
So about parents, because some parents might not be accepting of their child's gender identity, what actions do you think should be taken to safeguard those children?
Do you want to go first?
Sure. I think the main thing is if that home can't be the support for that child, then the school should be, or some other place, maybe it's their sports team. But it's really important to have an adult in your life who sees you who you are.
The child...
See, I told you, they're not even actually hiding it, but they use this guise of acceptance and love, and they use, flowery language to make you feel like this is a good thing. What an absolutely deranged thing to say. But this is Liverpool, and these people are deranged. Absolute government worshipping bootlickers. Every last one of them. Fuck the king. Don't tread on me. USA. USA.
Transgender charity Mermaids is trying to push for puberty blockers to be available for those under 16. Do you think that's the right move?
Yeah, definitely in some cases. It's I think it's quite a hard topic because I don't know, I'm not sure if they're reversible. They might be, but yeah, I think generally that's a pretty good thing to do.
What age do you think young people should be able to seek out medical gender affirming treatments like puberty blockers, for example?
I think it's complicated. I don't really have an answer for that because I don't really have an experience with it. So
I think like with like medical changes, of course, like it's people are trying to put like a blanket statement on it, or it should be this age for everyone. But like people are individual, and I think it really depends on what each person needs, whether they have a support system, and also like why they feel like they need it. But I think like what we need to be doing is offering people support through that. I think with something like puberty blockers, there seems to be really minimal damage long term.
Oh, really? Really? I know it's a shock, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. What's this thing's name? I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, Agatha. I don't know. I couldn't something. This is Liverpool. I don't know. It sounds like something someone would be named. I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about that backwater country. Absolute filthy, degenerate place.
And it seems to be a really safe option to give people more time. So I think puberty blockers are a great development and have really like saved trans kids' lives. I think they're amazing. And I think with more like...
There's one problem there, Patricia. There is zero evidence to support that. Just because you heard it on the BBC doesn't mean that it's true.
Hormone replacement therapy, again, it's for each person individually to figure out with them and their healthcare providers of what's right for them, because we're not all the same. We all need different things.
yeah, there shouldn't be like a certain age that's like this is right and this is wrong. I think the world
Totally illogical, untenable position that you cannot build a system of government, medicine, or any kind of coherent statement off of at all. And I don't want to understate this. Yeah, you know what? Puberty blockers, surgeries. Some kids need it at 3 years old. You know, there's really no one size fits all for that. It's just some need it at 3, some need it at 14, some need it when they're 25. It's just, you know, it's who's to say? Who's to say? Some of them need it. We may get some wrong, but it's a very small percentage. I mean, we may only get it wrong like 97% of the time. That's just, but you can't, it's not a one size fits all, you guys.
world's changing, people are changing constantly, so I think medicine should also be changing as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And
totally.
my final question is, so about, I believe it was a year ago, the Conservative Party, the Conservative government made it illegal, gay conversion therapy, they made it illegal, and there was a push for trans conversion therapy. So medical professionals who want to affirm the gender of their patients, that would be made illegal. Do you guys agree with that?
I mean, absolutely. Like, I think just as it is with sexuality, we can see that it's absolutely wrong with gender as well. I think the idea that there is something wrong about being trans is what makes people feel like they can't exist and be trans. Like,
You know what makes people feel like they can't exist and be trans is being a pansy ass. That's what the problem is. Go listen to Based Grandpa and man the hell up. This is going to be the stream that takes me out, you guys. Too much misogyny, too much badass Americanism, too much cowboy talk. Let's do it, you guys. Let's go.
Like, it's not, on a base level, it's not difficult to be trans, but it's cis people and this world that makes it so difficult. And so having that basic thing that says that we care about you and we think that you deserve to exist as you are is really necessary.
Have you got what it takes to be a...
Shut up, you mousy little man. I swear, if I have to hear for the rest of my life, it gets put in movies, TV shows, video games, books, music. Everyone deserves to exist. And if they feel like some people don't want them to exist, that's not right because they deserve to feel it. Shut up. God, it's just, it's all so tiresome. It's all so tiresome. You know what? You don't deserve shit ever. Shut up. Just stop it. All right, let's see what else we got. Some more big brain takes from, oh, hello. Some Brits. I know there was another one.
Being least privileged, 10 being...
Holy crap, that's loud.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being least privileged, 10 being most privileged, where would you both rank yourselves?
I'd give myself maybe a 5 because I don't think I am white passing, and also because I grew up in a very...
I'm sorry. I must have misheard you. Can you say that again? Hang on.
I don't think I am white passing, and also because I grew up in a very...
I'm speechless. I don't... You here, let me put it this way. You are the amalgamation of every single white British woman who's ever existed. You're all of them combined into one person. What do you mean you're not white passing? This lady doesn't think she looks white. What? Wow. Okay.
very conservative country, Sweden.
And she's from Sweden. That's like the whitest place in the world. What? Dude, what is going... Who is this person? Where do you find these... Is this what it's like to walk around the streets of Liverpool? Is that what's... What? Holy crap.
Being around a lot of privileged people, it was very hard.
On a scale of 1 to...
It was very... It was very hard to grow up as a non-white passing person in Sweden around privileged people. Oh my gosh, dude.
And also because...
Please tell me there's a full... Yes, thank you. There's a full version.
What does...
Holy crap. Dude, I was not prepared for that at all. That's something else.
What does privilege mean to you?
Privilege means when somebody's like born with something and they have things that are just given to them because of the way they're born.
What does privilege mean to you?
That guy just described every single person on the planet. I mean, I know he meant something else. I mean, he was trying to talk about like wealth. I mean, we all know what they think privilege is, even though he clearly doesn't know what he thinks privilege is. But what he just said is every person on earth. You're born, and because born, there's certain things that are given to you. I mean, not every single thing that's given you has to be good or even a big deal, but I'm pretty sure that describes every person on earth. And damn, what is going on? Is this a trans person? Is that what's going on here? And you know that we're in England because look at this this very British man. Totally from the UK.
Having superior rights.
We've got Ahmed, your average British man, in the background.
Compared to the one that's inferior to you, socially wise.
Whoa, why is the video messing up? Uh-oh.
Your upbringing.
Oh, there we go. I've criticized it too much. It stopped working.
Having more rights and not knowing of it, not knowing that you have the privilege. What
Well, that was stupid.
does privilege mean to you?
It means being able to go into a place and not think about how you look or are perceived. That's my definition.
Why does YouTube keep slowing down like that? It's like, I've never seen it do that before. Maybe I need to open this up in an actual...
Definition, I think.
There. How about that?
I don't know if that's like an easy to like define thing.
I think there's a lot of different
ways
yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to define it. I think like you know that you're privileged if it's something that you.
That is a leftists and an academics' favorite thing. Well, it's not easy to define. It's there's a lot of ambiguity. It's gray area. It's nuance. Listen, if you can't explain something that you believe succinctly, clearly, then there is a high probability that it's stupid. A high probability. Not saying always, but there is a high probability that if someone asks you a basic question about something that you think, and you go, then it's probably stupid.
You don't have to actively think about whether that's like money or race or sexuality or any of that.
Gender. Yeah.
Privilege is very important. I had an ex who he was.
All right, I know this person's a liar. She says she has an ex-boyfriend. Not buying it.
He was white. He was a male, cis male, and he was rich, and he would always brag about it.
What's for examples of
Not true. Nothing about that was true. Tell me while this woman's talking that doesn't sound completely made up. I dated a rich white man who talked about being rich and bragged about it all the time. Liar. You are a liar.
Always brag about it.
What's for examples of privilege?
I feel like the most common one is white privilege. So people
most common,
that are white just like get things because they're white and they don't realize.
It's the most common one. And by that, I mean whites are a global minority. So somehow it's still the most common, which doesn't make any sense.
Is that they're getting it, whereas people of color don't get the same things or are treated differently.
What type of things?
Just advantages in life, different jobs, paychecks. I'm from the U.S.
Wait a minute. White people get paychecks and people of color don't get paychecks? I consider me convinced. If one of the symptoms of having privilege is not knowing that you have privilege, I didn't know that only white people got paychecks. Well, actually, that's not totally true. I have heard racist people say that black people just don't have jobs at all because they're lazy and black. So I guess they wouldn't get paychecks then either, but I don't think that's what this guy's saying. Or is it?
So obviously over there, I feel like there's more of a difference in here.
What types of privileges are there, would you say?
Male privilege, white privilege is usually just based on appearance. and what society thinks acceptable. So usually women are more seen as inferior simply because their physically prowess are lower than a male, and just what the past history has taught us, or has tried to teach us, that white people are more above than the culture, or like the ethnical ones, and basically most appears.
She has a very deep voice. Are both of these people trans?
I think it's important to recognise your privilege. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. How do you think you should go about doing that?
Sitting down and letting others speak, I think, is a great way to do that.
Well, that's stupid.
What do you think?
To recognize privilege. I mean, I think that's just like a thing of like educating yourself, because
Ah, yes.
I mean, like,
Ah, yes, the infamous educate yourself.
kind of like what I said, like when you're privileged, it means like you don't have to think about that stuff.
How do you think people should recognize their privilege?
I don't know. Maybe not taking things for granted and letting people know. Well, not letting people know, but just recognizing that they. Well, that's what you asked, but just recognizing that they are getting that treatment, and that it is different from other people.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being least privileged, 10 being most privileged, where would you both rank yourself?
Probably like a 7. Why? Well, obviously, I'm a white woman. I was born not having to worry about money, but I am a woman and I am also bisexual, so I feel like...
Well, I guess that explains why she's standing next to this here. Whatever's going on with this. Just take a shower, dear God. We need to see some more shower privilege, okay?
pretty high up there, but there are some things that I'm not privileged with, like gender equality and stuff like that. In America, a lot of women's rights are being taken away, especially in the South, which is where I live.
Oh my God, these people are just so delusional.
So that's something that I do have to worry about, which sucks.
What about you? I don't think it's like a quantifiable number type thing. Like,
Oh, isn't that convenient for you?
I don't think it's like a rating scale because there's so many things to measure it on. Like, I think economically I'm probably definitely on the more privileged side, but I'm also like a queer person who lives in a really, really rural part of America. So it's, you know.
I'm going to have to press X to doubt on that. This is the kind of person that says, I grew up in a really rural part of the United States, so I know what it's like. I know what it's like. And you're like, oh, really? Where'd you grow up? Atlanta. I mean, it's in the South, and the South is rural, right? Come on.
Like, in some ways I'm really not, and in some ways I really am.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being least privileged, 10 being most privileged, where would you rank yourself with that?
Well, I'm Brazilian, so I feel like I don't necessarily get all the privileges as a regular white person, but I am pretty white passing, I feel like. So I'd probably say like a 7 or a 6, especially since I'm a male too.
So what do you do with that privilege?
I don't know, walk down the street and feel safe, you know?
Man, this guy looked like he had something to say. You see the way he walked up there? Look at him. There he is. There he is. There's the living embodiment of the white male privilege. Look at him sticking his nose in where it doesn't belong.
I don't know.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1
Speaking of sticking your nose in.
being least privileged, 10 being most privileged, where would you both rank yourselves?
I think 7. I haven't actually faced any type of discrimination so far. I haven't been looked down upon. I think it's because I pass, usually as what's acceptable, because if they knew my background, I don't think I would have as much privilege. And 7, not a 10, simply because I know I'm a woman and people see me, lower me as, you know, in lower regards rather than
of meal.
Classic tomfoolery right here. I've never personally experienced any of these things that I 100% know happen. I know they happen. I've never experienced it. And I've actually never really spoken to anyone who's also really ever experienced, except for like one person that I know that one time says that she was catcalled because she was walking down the street in New York and a black guy said, "Hey, baby." But that's pretty much it. But I know it's real. The world is crazy. I mean, it's just the privilege and the bad.
Yeah, I'd give myself maybe a 5 because I don't think I am white passing.
Very pretty. Oh no.
And also because I grew up in a very conservative country, Sweden. Being around a lot of privileged people, it was very hard because it's just you don't get the same rights as everyone. So I wouldn't say that I'm very privileged.
Have you got what it takes?
Dude, what a crazy thing to say. I mean, that is just wow.
White passing. And also because I grew up in a very conservative country, Sweden. Being around a lot of privileged people, it was very hard because it's just you don't get the same rights as everyone.
Who does she think that she is? I mean, does she think that she's not white? So she says she's not white passing, which, I mean, here, well, let me just, let's just do a little experiment here. Oh, it doesn't have the eyedropper. I wanted to pick the color out. But you get the point. I mean, she's so white that she's glowing in this video. And for some reason doesn't believe that she's a white person. And then the even weirder part is that she said that she doesn't get the same rights in Sweden as a white person. I mean, I am just absolutely totally confused about what's going on in this woman's head. I just have no idea. Ugh. All right, sorry. Had to be done. Oh, I'm sure she's on TikTok. I mean, she has to be on TikTok. With a nose like that, I mean, why wouldn't you, right? It's like she doesn't actually know what Sweden is or where it is or what goes on there. This is the whitest black woman I have ever seen. All right, so there's the British people. So, to recap, Gorlock, the Destroyer's cousin, Florida Nazis, British people. There's a lot going on. We have one final contestant, which of course is just trans people in general, which is... This is going to be a tough vote. I don't know who's going to come out the victor with the most tomfoolery. All of this is from an account called LGB. LGB without the TQ. And they post a lot of very interesting trans people. To say the least.
Does this mean I literally just bought Ratatouille for nothing? Are you kidding me? So what does this mean? Does this mean I literally just bought Ratatouille for nothing?
I don't even know what that means. When I find out that most gay men won't date a trans man. Well, I could have told you that.
Transphobic gay and lesbian people are a massive fucking minority, and none of them are part of the LGBT community. They're off on their own little island, and literally the entire LGBT community fucking hates them, so yeah.
So someone said, I guess you haven't heard of the LGB without the T. There are many gay and lesbian people who don't buy into gender ideology. And then this obviously mentally disturbed young person has this response. Oh, God. It's another one of Gorlock the Destroyer's relatives. This ought to be good.
2 things to know. I'm non-binary, I go by they, them, and I...
Totally did not need to clarify that. You look like a moron. I know that you're non-binary and your pronouns are they, them. Did not need to repeat it.
2 things to know. I'm non-binary, I go by they, them, and I work in a store that is pretty much all women. So whenever they're like addressing us or when they're talking, they're always...
Wait, does that mean that there's men there, or is she not considering herself to be a woman? Like, as she says, it's pretty much all women, so it means there are women and her? Is that what she's saying? Or is there actually a man that works there? I really would like to know this information.
I was like, hey, ladies. So I've taken it upon myself as someone that is non-binary to use this to not listen. And whenever anyone addresses a group as ladies, I am not included. So when they say, hey, ladies, let's like stop talking, or hey, ladies, let's like get to work, I will do none of it because you're not talking to me. You're not.
Fired. What is with these people, man? The arrogance of a generation that has done less than nothing with their entire life thus far.
You're not talking to me. You're not talking to me. So I will not listen to anything that is said when it is started with, hey, ladies. I'm a theydy, not a lady. A theydy. 2 things.
Oh, man, dude. God, when's the rapture? When is... Can I just say the filters on TikTok are amazing. No wonder why some get angry when they get misgendered when off of TikTok. It's constant affirmation, then boom, constant misgendering. Wow. That's hilarious.
You heard me right. Your daily reminder that there are transphobes in the gay community. You heard me right. The LGBT community is not a monolith. A lot of lesbians, a lot of gay men, a lot of bi people feel like transgender people are setting this movement back. But
I wonder why they would feel that way.
Transgender people are setting this movement back. But my question is this: where would the gay community be without the T's?
A lot better off, I can tell you that. I mean, that's just unequivocal. I mean, that's not even debatable. I mean, it is actually well documented that with the rise of gender ideology and trans and queer this and queer that, for the first time in like a decade, overall acceptance of just gay people has gone down because of this, whatever's going on here. But sure. So this person says, when are we going to talk about gay boys being more transphobic than straight boys? When are we going to finally talk about that?
Biological woman, and
I'm sorry, what?
I am a biological woman, and I'm also a transgender woman. And you want to know how.
That's fair. Let me explain. Let's break down biological woman real quick.
Actually, no, I don't want to know how. I am not at all interested.
So biological simply means relating to biology, or life and living processes. It turns out I'm alive. I am of living processes. I am flesh and bone, you know? I am biological. And woman is basically anyone who says they are a woman. It's a social construct.
So you've already just crapped all over any legitimate definition that you thought you were about to give. I am a biological woman. Let me explain. I am alive and I think I'm a woman. Oh, well, case closed. Jeez. Pack it up, boys. It's over. We have been thoroughly debunked.
It's an eternal sense of self and how the person wants to present themselves to the world and how they want to be perceived. That's all a woman is someone who says they're a woman and truly means it. When people are arguing against the rights of transgender people,
This is something that is just so insane that I don't think it'll ever be not baffling to me to listen to this. What the? Every day I wonder, how the hell did we get here? And every day I think to myself, thank God I live in the middle of nowhere on a farm. A woman is someone who thinks they're a woman and really means it. Oh, well, I better write that down. I mean, that is insightful. What?
people, they often misuse the word biological. They like to say that you cannot change your DNA, you cannot change what you were born as. However, when you're born, you're just assigned a gender at birth by the doctor, and it's a best guess based off of what they see.
These people do this. Uh-oh. Well, that was crazy. I don't know why that happened. Is everything fixed now? Okay. These people do this a lot where they go, listen, sit down. I'm going to explain this to you. And you go, okay. And then they don't explain shit. And they just say what they believe. Saying what you believe is not an explanation. That's like if I just said, well, I believe the sky is red. Oh, really? Why do you believe that? Well, here, let me explain it to you. When I look at the sky, I think that it's red. Do you see how that's not an explanation? I just repeated the same crazy shit I said 5 seconds ago in a slightly different way with a few extra words. That is not an explanation. That is what we call, my friends, tomfoolery. Oh, jeez.
Taller than me? Like, yeah, I know. It is my dream to have a girlfriend who's taller than me. Like, yeah, I know I'm a tall girl, and I like to wear heels, so sometimes I'm even taller. But is it that much to ask for? To get a girlfriend who's 6'8"? Is it that much? It is my dream to...
Everyone that you meet laughs at you behind your back. Everyone. Even the people who are nice to you, as soon as you're no longer in their presence, they're laughing. What a terrible existence. Why? Why would you do this to yourself?
Only thing that keeps me going is compliments from pretty girls. And I am not ashamed to admit that. The
I mean, I could see a guy saying that. So are you admitting that you're a guy? I mean, a guy wouldn't say it in such a gay way, but I don't understand. Oh, come on. Where's the videos, you guys? Normally I see videos from them all the time, and then when I want to, oh god, this person again.
I'm hoping I find... Here's my makeup for tonight. I'm hoping I find the woman of my dreams at the gay bars. I think I like pink. It sends a signal. I hope. Here's my makeup.
Oh, man. Hey, it's this person. This is the person we've watched this person on TikTok Tuesday before. This is the person that thinks that they're a comedian.
Getting misgendered is so frustrating because, like, I know what I look like. And I know that I'm not exactly wearing a dress right now, but I'm certainly not serving boy.
You 100% are serving boy. This dude kind of looks like an uglier, gayer version of Robert Plant. I mean, this is how Robert Plant dressed. I bet you if I looked right now, I could find a picture of Robert Plant wearing almost this exact thing. I mean, it's pretty close. I swear I've seen a Zeppelin concert, where he's wearing a striped blouse. I mean, look at that guy. Still a dude. And we've got classic.
Of advice that I can give. The most important piece of advice that I can give to trans girls looking to acquire a butch voice is that it's not a direct journey from masculine to butch. You're gonna want to take the scenic route and make a pit stop at high femme. This is a chart about how I would describe my voice journey. As you can see, I didn't go straight to butch. I first had to learn how to talk really high femme, and then I butched it up. There's an assumption people make in voice training that acquiring a butchy voice is easier than acquiring a high femme voice because it's more masculine, but that's not the whole picture. The most important...
Imagine the kind of delusional you have to be to believe that to be yourself, you have to spend hours voice training to change the way that you naturally speak. That's insane. Self-acceptance would be accepting the way that you sound and being who you are. But sure, yeah, whatever.
I want to do a little experiment here. And please be honest. How many of you have been assaulted verbally or physically by a trans woman? And I'm not saying a story you saw on the news or read on the internet or heard from a friend. How many of you specifically? Trans women. How many of you have been verbally assaulted or physically assaulted just for being trans? Because I've been physically and verbally assaulted multiple times. So please comment with your answers.
What a jackass.
After starting estrogen, I've noticed that a lot of guys, when we're talking, like won't look me in the eye as much, or like they'll like look away, you know, a lot. Like, you scared of me?
Why do people do that on the internet? Put the phone really close up to their face. I mean, some people film videos like just like this. They'll just this angle the whole time. Why? Stop it.
Hi, my name is Jezebel Lilith Eve. I am a natural-born lesbian woman. I was...
Man, this dude is trying hard with that name. Jezebel Lilith Eve. Man. You are trying way too hard.
My name is Jezebel Lilith Eve. I am a natural-born lesbian woman. I was born with a dick. Don't like that? Deal with it. Bye.
Why are you walking over your furniture?
I'm a non-binary lesbian because of my genitals. Like, saying, like, I'm a non-binary lesbian because of my genitals. Like, that implies that people are only a certain sexuality or whatever because of their genitals. That is not the truth. So to anyone who is a non-binary lesbian out there, I'm not trying to hate on you, but I'm trying to understand your reasoning outside of your junk. Because your junk doesn't know. There are plenty of trans men who are gay, and they only date other men. There are plenty of trans lesbians. Like, I don't understand. Just please, somebody, if you could please help me understand what you really mean, because what you're saying doesn't make any sense. Saying, like, I'm a non-binary...
I didn't follow any of that at all. What? One more time. See if I can follow what in God's name is going on here.
Saying, like, I'm a non-binary lesbian because of my genitals. Like, that implies that people are only a certain sexuality or whatever because of their genitals. That is not the truth. So to anyone who is a non-binary lesbian out there, I'm not trying to hate on you, but I'm trying to understand your reasoning outside of your junk. Because your junk doesn't know. There are plenty of trans men who are gay, and they only date other men. There are plenty of trans lesbians. Like, I don't understand. Just please, somebody, if you could please help me understand what you really mean, because what you're saying doesn't make any sense. Saying, like, I'm a non-binary lesbian because of my...
Okay, so what this potato is saying is she lives in this bizarro... Well, it's actually it's a bizarre kind of childlike state where your imagination trumps actual reality. So if you're a woman who is sleeping with a man, but you like to pretend that you're also a man, that makes you gay, even though it's straight? I mean, you could identify as a dinosaur and you could be dinosexual, and that's just the way it is. Okay. Wow. This person needs to be in a mental hospital immediately.
I only voice train so I can pass as a lesbian successfully. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do here. I don't need to sound like a woman. I just need to sound like I wear sweater vests. I only voice train so I can pass as a lesbian successfully. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do here.
So wait, what?
Pass as a lesbian successfully. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do here. I don't.
This seems to be a growing contingent amongst the trans people, being a trans lesbian. Super weird. It's almost like this whole thing is some kind of bizarre sexual fetish that could have only formed and gotten to this level in a society as degenerate as ours. As degenerate and affluent, because those things go hand in hand. We've had it too good for too long, now it's collapsing around us. Oh, good Lord. Straight to jail. I don't even need... This is an insane person. Come on. That is a crazy person.
Is
Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. This person, when we were in saner times, this would be someone who was an extra in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'm pretty sure there are many films that take place in asylums that have people who were identical to this. A dude with male pattern baldness acting like this weird little girl. Deranged. Absolutely deranged.
little white men from the United States scurry to me like rats because this is what I do to them. Little white...
What the fuck? Yeah, this is also Buffalo Bill, 100%, from Silence of the Lambs.
There it is.
Me scrolling on TikTok looking at LGB without the T. I don't get why people hate us so much. Well, my dude, you are the only one who doesn't get it. Hey, I recognize this person. This woman was on the lesbians who act like black guys. Right? Isn't that her?
If this is you, you better lower your motherfucking tone when you talking to me.
But what could I say that... I wanted to talk about transgenocide today, but...
Me too, let's do it.
That hasn't been said 1,000 times before. So instead, I wrote a poem.
Oh, thank God.
The most terrifying violence is the violence we're told isn't violent. My name is Juniper. I'm 5'4" and skinny. I have a dykish haircut that I cut myself.
I have a dykish haircut. It just doesn't sound like something... that's... Who would... jeez.
I have deep green eyes and a little dimple on the side of my face. When I'm happy, I wiggle with joy, and when I'm scared, I make myself small. I am a woman. I have a penis. And I'm telling you this so that you'll know who I am when it's all taken from me. Genocide is a quiet violence. It inches closer and closer, pretending each step is justified. Genocide doesn't start by coming from my life.
Juniper, I'm gonna have to disagree. Genocide is not a quiet thing.
We don't want you to chemically castrate your children, okay? Oh my god, it's the Holocaust! Oh no! Oh my god! Hey, we don't want you to chemically castrate your children, okay? Oh my god, it's the Holocaust! Oh no! Oh my god!
Nailed it.
Your domestic partner who's sitting right there that doesn't want to be on camera has been doing a lot of self-discovery that was triggered by our coming outs. And if you didn't watch the other videos, at 39 years old, she came out to me as a lesbian and felt she has always been, a gay woman from, a young age and suppressed it. And that's what, finally cracked my egg to realize not only is that great news, but I don't want to be a man, and here we are today. So my queer domestic partner...
Dude. Every time I think I've seen the craziest shit that these people are going to come up with, something like this happens. This dude wants us to believe, expects us to believe and play along with his wife came out as a lesbian and said, I don't want to sleep with men anymore. I'm a lesbian. And then he goes, oh my gosh, I'm a lesbian too. Dude, what the hell has happened to the human race? Is it the fluoride in the water? Is it turning the freaking frogs gay? I mean, what is going on? To even utter this in private to a friend is just the highest levels of tomfoolery. Oh my God. This is like the plot of an episode of MASH or something. What is going on?
I got a question for the eligibility community. Femmes specifically. So, y'all don't be sucking the strap? So, I got a question for the eligibility community. Femmes specifically. So, y'all don't be sucking the strap? So,
I'm gonna ignore that.
The argument that there's some sort of queer agenda. I find it really wild that bigots love to make the argument that there's some sort of queer agenda when cishet society is obsessed with telling kids that they need to be straight and cisgender. No straight kid is scared of their parents disowning them because they're straight. No cisgender kid is scared of...
These people are really good at taking normal, something that's normal, and just pretending it's not normal. This dude is trying to get you to believe that, oh God, the tomfoolery. This dude is trying to get you to believe that at some point there was a cabal of straight people who got together and in a conniving manner came up with a system that would ensure heteronormativity, that it's a diabolical plot. And it's actually not normal at all. It's this thing that is being forced onto people. I mean, I guess it is being forced onto you in the way that your gender was forced onto you when you were conceived. The tomfoolery, my brain it's breaking.
obsessed with telling kids that they need to be straight and cisgender. No straight kid is scared of their parents disowning them because they're straight. No cisgender kid is scared of being homeless because they're cisgender. People have been bombarded so much throughout their lifetime to be cisgender and to be straight that to even question that is not only terrifying but extremely confusing. Wait a second. The thing that I've been told I have to be in order to be lovable, in order to be worthy, I might not be. What does that even mean for me? You know how long I thought that I wasn't going to be loved because I'm trans? You know how many times when I first came out, I bawled my eyes out because I was so sad that I was trans? And I was convinced that meant that nobody was ever going to love me. That's it. And then it took me even longer to come out as non-binary trans because
Oh, man. Isn't it interesting that all these people seem to have multiple coming out stories? Isn't that kind of a red flag that maybe this is all BS? Because they come out the first time and it's this whole flutter of excitement and, oh no, wow, this is great. And then it wears off. It's a madhouse. A madhouse. Oh. Thank you, sir. Dude, check it out. Check it out. So close, you guys. So close. I can almost taste it. And you know what? As usual, I actually forgot to set up the Super Chat jukebox. Here, let's hit it.
Frog's gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frog's gay. Serious crap. Gay. Frog's friggin' frog's. It's not funny.
That was a perfect Super Chat jukebox for this. I just made a reference to the water turning the freaking frogs gay. Oh, actually, you're right. You know, I didn't think about that. Saying I can almost taste the revolver does imply that I'm going to blow my brains out. That's not what I meant. All right, what were we talking about?
thought that meant it was even worse. If I'm not even binary trans, there's no...
Oh, right. I was making fun of this person because all of these people seem to come out multiple times. It has to keep escalating. Oh, mom and dad, I'm gay. Actually, I'm transgender, which means I'm straight, but also not the right gender. Oh, actually, I'm non-binary. I don't have a gender. These people never get out of an adolescent mindset. This is the equivalent of, screw you, dad. You don't know everything.
No way I am ever going to be loved. Did you know that 82% of trans people have considered unaliving themselves and 40% have actually tried? And it's not because the existence of being trans or being queer is awful. It's because the way that society treats us. Y'all are spending all your time trying to convince people to be straight and cis, and we're just trying to keep our queer people here.
Really? They're not trying to push anything in your face, man. It's just, they just want to exist and be left alone. Now, let me tell your child how to tuck his penis in 4th grade. You bigot. Where's my revolver?
Again. They said, do you want a bag? I said, no. No. What am I? Ashamed of what I go through every month? No. If I have to bleed, everyone's gonna see what I bought. Everyone. Hello? I bleed once a month. Anyway, how are you? It's that time.
So this isn't a trans person. It's just somebody weird, a lesbian, I presume. Why are some women like this? If I have to believe everyone has to know about. No one gives a shit. Yoko, no one cares. But there is a basic decorum that people are expected to, be respectful, tactful. I mean, I shit every day, multiple times a day, but I don't wipe it on things and throw it at people. You don't do that. In general, bodily functions are meant to be discreet and not, the splendor that is woman. Oh, God. What is going on here? Apparently, I liked this video already.
Please! These gays! They're trying to murder me! Make a PJ! Do you know these gays? Please!
Why? What? Why do people... what is this? God damn theater kids. Shut up.
Daughter recently came to me and said that she was transgender. She wanted to be a boy. And as a Christian mother, there was only one thing I could do. And that was help my son transition so that he could be the young man that God always intended him to be. Support your kids. My 12-year-old daughter recently came to me and said that
Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
Actually, priests. The Gali were a group of priests in ancient Rome.
Okay, what?
Trans people were actually priests. The Gali were a group of priests in ancient Rome dating back as early as 5000 BC who worshipped the goddess Cybele. The priests were assigned male at birth. However, upon initiation into Cybele's cult, they would castrate themselves. Now, I know what you're thinking. Just because they castrated themselves doesn't mean they were transgender. But the Gali didn't stop there. They would wear women's clothing, women's jewelry, and even ask to be referred to with feminine pronouns, which makes the Gali some of the earliest examples of people who both medically and socially transition. Unfortunately, with these early examples of trans people come early examples of transphobia, and the Gali were often ridiculed in Roman culture, especially in their later years when Christianity was becoming more popular. Sounds familiar. Regardless, the existence of the Gali is proof that as long as humans have been here, trans people have been here too.
No, actually, it's not proof of that at all. I can almost guarantee you, as is the case in almost every single example of stuff like this, those people didn't think that they literally were females. Insufferable. The tomfoolery. The tomfoolery. There was a time when people knew that if a man cut his penis off and dressed like a woman, that he was a deranged man that cut his penis off and dressed like a woman. That was it. Better days. Better days.
Just sitting here having gender, and I am wondering to myself, okay, so when trans masks go on testosterone a lot of the time,
That is a lot of forehead right there. A lot of forehead.
times it'll turn their little nub into a big nub. And I am a trans femme who had bottom surgery, which means they turned my eggplant into the other thing. And I am just so curious that if I started taking testosterone, not saying I'm gonna, but if I did, would it turn my little nub into a big nub? Can anyone answer this for me? Because I am so curious. Could I possibly achieve a click if I wanted to? So I am just sitting.
I'm genuinely just confused about when exactly we got to the point where someone could formulate a thought like this and then share that thought. And we all are supposed to pretend like this person is totally normal and fine. What the? This dude wants to know, since he cut off his penis and inverted it, if he then starts taking testosterone, would that affect his neo-vagina? And we're all supposed to sit here and say, yes, that is an interesting question. These are the questions of the day. This is we will need this totally valid thing to wonder about. Yes, thank you. Would you like to be president of the United States? Oops.
I have come to dominate the competition.
No. Oh. I'm sure most of you have seen this video by now. This is hilarious.
Getting a drink.
This person has also been on TikTok Tuesday.
Honestly, don't know what to do, but like, there was like a really bad experience. Basically, I was just getting a drink at the bar, and
First of all, do these people not know that this, like whenever they do this, it looks just as fake and performative as a toddler who really wants to get something at Toys R Us and the parents say no? I mean, you're theater kids, for crying out loud. Aren't you supposed to be good at acting? This is terrible. I mean, obviously fake. Painfully fake. I don't know what you do for a living, but you should be fired because of how fake this is. I don't know how that makes sense, but it does.
they called both Azul and I ladies.
Oh my God. You're even doing the hyperventilating in between words like a freaking toddler. The only good news is that she's in a lesbian relationship, so it means that at some point in the near future, she's going to get smacked around by her partner. That's the only good news, the only thing we have to look forward to, statistically speaking.
Basically, I was just getting a drink at the bar, and they called both Azul and I ladies. After they were done making the drink, I went up and I was like, some people don't refer to themselves as ladies, but it's okay that you didn't know. And I'm in a gay bar, so I should feel safe. Too bad, turned it around. They got so mad at me, and they took the drink away from my wife and I. He hit the bar, like, because he was like, are you serious? You're doing the same thing to me. Wow. And then they kicked us out. I didn't think that was gonna happen. Like, how am I supposed to feel? This was the first time that I've...
How come... How come a bartender at a gay bar is more based than like 70% of the population? This nut job, who obviously looks like a woman, has made no attempt to not look like a woman. In fact, is dolling herself up like a pinup. Obviously looks like a woman. And he says, here you go, ladies. And then she goes, actually, I'm not a lady. And then, knowing the annoying shitstorm that's about to come out of this woman, the man just says, no, get the hell out of my bar. Get out. You can take they, them, and get the hell out of my bar. You freak. You degenerate, as he's having sex with men. but still. Hey, I take what I can get, and this is a win.
I've like told somebody I felt brave enough to tell somebody my identity. I just wanted to let him know, and I told him it's okay that you didn't know. He was still mad at me.
No one gives a crap about your identity. No one. Even your parents don't give a crap about this.
Me for being myself, and for my wife being themselves. Just her. We were kicked out so fast. And I tried talking to the other person. He came over and was like, what's going on? It was another straight white man. When I told him he's just not respecting our identity and I don't understand.
I like how when she wanted to talk about how much she hates somebody, she just couldn't help but say straight white man. But she had to correct it that actually she was talking about a gay white man.
He's just not respecting our identity and I don't understand.
Dude, I am a professional identity disrespecter. This dude that you're talking about's got nothing on me. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Why? And he was like, you know what, just leave. And I got kicked out of a bar. Technically supposed to be a queer bar, but it's just gay white men. Yes. Oh my god, it was supposed to be a positive experience. I felt so embarrassed.
I want to let you know.
Yeah.
I'm fucking furious.
Oh my god, these people. Could you imagine even being neighbors with these people and have to hear them talk just occasionally, like once a week? Even that would be torture. Absolute torture.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh my god. She just keeps working herself
I
up.
didn't accept you for just being gay. Dude, like, are you serious?
I guarantee you that guy could not give two shits about whether you accept that he's gay. It sounds like he's, dare I say, a little bit more stable than you are, which again is saying something, the fact that he's gay and all, but it sounds like he's a more well-adjusted human being than you.
Serious? And he's told me, I'm being a gentleman calling you a lady. That's not something bad. Like, I'm just sharing that part.
Dude, how does this gay bartender sound more base than half the people at the Turning Point USA conservative conference or whatever?
And I just wanted you to be like, okay, sorry.
What would you like?
What would you like to hear? And like, it's not like we even talk a lot. It felt like a dad, like yelling at you. Oh my god.
And there it is. There it is. It always has to do with the dad. Screw you, Dad.
Would have guessed that you're trans. I never would have guessed that you have such a suffocatingly tight, warm, cozy, wet, welcoming, tasty, not to mention torrentially downpouringly wet, friendly, adorable, delicious.
What the fuck? What in the actual... Should we even try to finish this clip? Only halfway through it.
Wet, open and experienced, yet closed and selective, fun-loving, needy, but also very generous, large and in charge, but at the same time small and timid, independent, but also very codependent, manly, yet delicate, wet pussy. I never would have...
Jail. Straight to jail. And I am just not buying for 1 second the premise from the get-go. This is a woman who's trying to present as a man and is claiming that people say, I never would have guessed that you're trans. Are you kidding me? Get out of here.
And I had to train every single person that I came into contact with.
I'm sorry, what?
I was pregnant. I had to train every single person that I came into contact with. Every midwife, my obstetrician, the sonographers, the people at the desk. Every time I rang up with a query about something, I'd have to explain that no, it actually is me that's pregnant. At one of the most vulnerable times in my life, I was having to do a huge amount of emotional labor. And this isn't a unique experience to pregnancy for a
Oh, screw your emotional labor. You know, bearded ladies used to belong in the circus. You freak. There it is. The bearded lady. Simpler times. Better times. Why would anyone want to get that tattooed on? Well, what am I saying? What? Sorry, I let my common sense get in the way for a second. Oh, good Lord. All right. Wait, where is it? We'll finish this one, do one more, and then we shall vote.
trans person. I've had to train every single GP. I've had to train the practice managers. When I've literally been in A&E, I've had to have conversations about being trans, including specifying that no, I do not have to tell you about my genitals if all you're doing is an ECG. And I made the decision I don't want any trans person to ever have to do this again. I was pregnant. I had to train every...
Well. If it isn't the trans person's mortal enemy, the consequences of their own actions. Look out, man.
Worse chest dysphoria on testosterone. Okay, so first of all, you can develop worse chest dysphoria on testosterone. Why did no one tell me this? Okay, I went months confused. The thing is, I found out this was a real thing in gender therapy when I had a little session with my gender therapist. And I'd been going days thinking, like, I need to tell her. I need to tell her that my chest dysphoria has gotten so bad, like, it has gotten like 20 times worse.
No
and I had
way.
really horrible chest dysphoria before,
No.
and I didn't even get to tell her because she asked me. She asked me, has your chest dysphoria gotten any worse since starting T? And I was like, yeah. And she said, yeah, that's normal. Okay, so first of all, you can develop...
Ah, jeez. Oh, well. I was going to say that was the last one, but not, obviously we're listening to whatever this is.
One thing about me, I'm gonna have boy breakfast, and then I'm gonna have non-binary lunch, and then I'm gonna have girl dinner all on the same day. And between that, I might have a little genderfuck snack. Done. My 3 balanced meals. One thing about me.
You know, emptying the psych wards, the asylums, might be one of the most pivotal negative things that ever happened in American history. Because not only did we let all the crazies out, now they've been breeding, and there's multiple generations. And now they walk around in the world like this. Not good. Not a super great development. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to see who will be crowned King of Tomfoolery on this Tuesday. I present to you Gorlock the Destroyer's cousin. Hang on, gotta put it in the poll. King of Tomfoolery. What was the story again? So this dude was sued by the sorority. All right, so Gorlock and the sorority. Contestant number 1. Contestant number 2. The Florida freeway Nazis and the people who are reacting to them, who are just god awful.
Here's why neo-Nazis marching in Florida is actually a big deal and we need to take it seriously. Florida has a track record of predicting future presidents. Since 1996, every presidential candidate who has succeeded in Florida has gone on to spend the next 4 years in the White House. That article was written in 2020, but we all know...
Yeah. Simply, contestant number 3, simply British people. Just all of them. Just as a whole, the British people. And then our favorite just never goes away. The trans people. There we go. Poll in the chat. Place your votes now. And while you are voting, we will listen to one of my new favorite songs. Which one should we listen to? Let's go with this one.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Straight outta Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. From the gang called Fellas with Attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a sawed off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you mess with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the punk motherfucker that's showing out. People start to mumble, they wanna rumble. Mix them and cook them in a pot like gumbo. Going off on a motherfucker like that. With a gat that's pointed at your ass. So give it up smooth. Ain't no telling when I'm down for a jack move. Here's a murder rap to keep you dancing. With a crime record like Charles Manson. AK-47 is the tool. Don't make me act like a crazy little fool. Me and you can go toe to toe, no maybe. I'm knocking fellas out the box daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. Until them dumb motherfuckers see clearly that I'm down with the capital CPT. Boy, you can't fuck with me. So when I'm in your neighborhood, you better duck. Cause Ice Cube is crazy as I leave, believe I'm stomping. But when I come back, boy, I'm coming straight out of Compton. Straight out of Compton.
An absolute masterpiece. I would listen to that every single day. I am glad it was created. All right, have we placed our votes? Do we have a king of tomfoolery? Man, how are British people coming in last? I thought that was one of the highest contenders. I mean, do you forget who we're talking about here? Do you forget what's the Swedish woman who thinks that she's not white and is wearing one of those glasses and fake nose things? You know what I'm talking about? The party thing with the fake nose on it. Beautiful. Beautiful and brave. And just so you know, she wanted you to be very aware of the fact that she has an ex-boyfriend who was totally really rich and was super into her, but she broke up with him because he kept bragging about how rich he was. Which is a story that we can all believe and know for sure definitely happened. All right, guys, as the polls are closing, do not forget, if you can, super chat to help me buy a new revolver that I will not eat because I'm not trans. And pick up the Dindu Nuffin Brothers, or the Boys Dindu Nuffin sticker collection. One sticker, that's the Swamp logo. The other one, the Dindu Nuffin mugshots. That again are holographic, so you know that they're special. Man, you know, maybe I just shouldn't include trans people in Tomfoolery Tuesday for a while. It seems that the only time that the trans people, a trans person doesn't win is when there's also pedos in the running. The pedos do beat out the trans, though they're not always mutually exclusive. But it seems that it's gotten to be an unfair advantage for the trans people to become winners of Tomfoolery Tuesday. All right, closing the poll. Congratulations, trans community in general, for being crowned the winner of this week's Tomfoolery Tuesday. Everyone give them a round of applause. It's amazing. The trans they keep sweeping, man. We gotta find somebody who is more full of tomfoolery than the trans people. I'm on a quest. Absolutely on a quest. I can't believe you guys put British people in last place, tied with the Florida Nazis. Again, Swedish woman who thinks that she doesn't look white, and had to suffer through the horrors of living in a conservative, well-off country. But hey, I'm not a dictator. I listen to the vote, and the people have spoken. All right, everyone, don't forget to like the stream if you haven't. Of course, be subscribed. And I think that's it. Oh, Thursday. Hang on. Thursday, I am going to be recording my version of All-Star from Smash Mouth in honor of Steve Harwell, who passed away yesterday, 2 days ago. I don't remember. At 56, pretty darn young. But that should be fun. Swamp's version of Hey now, you're an all-star. Da-da-da-da, ba-da. You know, the meme song. Though I actually liked that album before it was a meme. I don't even think I knew what memes were when that album came out. When did that album come out? I don't know. But yeah, on Thursday, I will be recording that, so be sure to pop in. And I did finally get the latency issue fixed in the studio. So it won't sound like nails on a chalkboard while I'm recording. It'll actually be together and sounding good. No latency issues. All right, guys. My name is Swamp. Thank you for being here for Tomfoolery Tuesday, and I will see you guys next time. On Thursday.